luckily for us, we had the opportunity to go on a family vacation, an extended family vacation in February. And that for me is a major milestone, because when we went to Hawaii for 3 weeks, that's when I was weaning off the medication. So that was 14 months. Catherine was 14 months old, and I was weaning off the ilazapine. And that's a bit scary, but at least I was in, paradise doing that, and I had my husband full time with me, right? So I had a couple of sleepless nights, and I haven't been on medication since. I still am on my blood pressure pills because I haven't figured that one out yet, and I'm working on that. In terms of my healing, I've done everything: naturopathy, homeopathy, Western medicine, specialists, angel therapy, energy, and you name it, I've probably tried it. And I'm on a mission. I believe my blood pressure is going to heal itself. With all of the marriage counseling, Darren and I reconnected. It was a bit tough at times. And here we are, 4 years later, still married. Or no, 5? Oh, well, it's 4 years since this happened, but we're on our 5-year anniversary on Friday. And this kind of experience really tests relationships, let me tell you. It will either bring them together or pull them apart. And luckily for us, we made a decision that this was going to be a pull together problem. So, yes, I owe him a lot because I think lesser men would have left. I think if I would have been the man, I would have left. I would have running for the hills. And do you have more?
One thing I wanted to mention, and I neglected to do it at the beginning, for all the healthcare professionals out there, the people that work in mental health, I just want to offer my thanks. Without dedicated professionals like yourself, I probably wouldn't have a daughter and I might not have a wife right now. So thank you.
So we're just going to wrap up, and then we'll have time for questions and answers because I'm sure you've got some burning questions. So my experience has taught, our experience has taught us many things, and I'm going to let Darren go first, and then I'll do mine.
There's 4 points that I just want to address and bring notes because I forgot. Just what I've sort of taken away from this experience. The first point is I'm willing to endure just about anything for my family. I learned that about myself. The other point is you really need to take care of yourself first. And that may sound selfish initially, but if you're no good to yourself, you're no good to anyone else. If you can't be ready to step up to the plate because you're not taking care of yourself, you're not able to help anyone. I also should have asked for help sooner. I let my ego, pride, shame, call it what you will. I let that hurt me. And it hurt my family. And it's a regret that I have to this day. And as I said, the thank you for the dedicated professionals out there who helped us through this.
All I can say is thank God we live in Canada. Because if I would have been living in another country, perhaps I thought I would have died. And Darren would be standing before you today. I guess a widower. Really, I don't even know what it's called for guys, but. So, I'm going to share with you some of my insights of things I've learned in the past 4 years. I've learned that my beliefs and thoughts are very powerful. If you change your beliefs, you change everything around you. I took a long lenses, and were my beliefs helping me or making it worse? If it was the latter, which the bulk of them were, I threw that belief out and replaced it with something that was right for me. I've also learned to work harder on myself than anything else, because you don't know how long you're going to be here for. And one thing I just want to say, my first experience in the ICU, my nurse had a halo, and she really did, and her name was Grace. But anyway, and I had that conversation with God, and I said, I'm not dying yet. So please don't take your life for granted. I now know that relationships are the most important priority in my life. My relationship with myself, with Darren, with Catherine, my daughter, my parents, my siblings, my extended family and friends. Nothing else really matters. I also learned that the perfect mother does not exist. She's an oxymoron, like the little giant. The perfect mother really isn't perfect. She has good days and bad days, and we all have those. She accepts herself, becomes aware of her moment, and chooses something different. She understands that you cannot change the wind, but you can adjust your sail. I've learned that I have two arms for a reason. One is to help myself, and the other is to help others. I've also learned that it takes a community to raise a child, especially when the mother's suffering. And there really is no weakness in asking for help, and I wish I would have done that a bit sooner. Who knows, I might have been well at 8 months instead of 14. I've also learned that relationships, as well as life, have natural ebbs and flows, ups and downs. There's a natural order to things. Patience is really required during the low times and celebration during the high. My psychosis and depression were really my winter time, but then came spring. I needed to experience the lowest of emotions: self-hatred, self-loathing, anger, frustration, helplessness, hopelessness, so that I could recognize the opposite: self-love, self-acceptance, happiness, bliss, and service. I always reflect, a fruitful life requires both rain and sunshine. There were 3 aspects to my healing journey. They were self-forgiveness, self-acceptance, and self-love, and that's the key. I also recognize that what worked for me will not work for other people potentially. There are many paths to getting well, but there is only one truth, and that truth will set you free.
A few times I've spoken like this before, we've always conducted questions, and we've actually found that that's probably some of the best stuff. So if anyone has any questions, just feel free to share.
I'm going to steal the mic.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Good morning, Alice. Wonderful testimony. I have a very good friend that went through a similar experience about 8 years ago. She said she would never, ever have a child. How do you feel about having more children?
I'll give you my answer and then Tanya can answer. We've discussed this, let's just say a lot. The one thing that's definitely holding us back is Tanya still has a physical health issue.